Hello, my name is Alexa Vine. Welcome to my channel. If you are looking for a creator that is Christ focused, who loves fashion, art, crafts, all that type of good stuff, but also laid back and just pretty down to earth, then you came to the right place. And today we are going to be talking about just surrendering your will to God, recognizing Him as the Lord and the Lord of your life. And yeah, we're gonna hop right into it right after this. Okay, so I kind of made a TikTok about this like not too long ago. Not this exact topic, but something close to it, just about like letting go and things of that nature. So today I just want to talk about really accepting God as your Lord, like the Lord of your life. And just me wrestling with that, which sounds like what, but I think a lot of us, if we really get down to it, we also have similar struggles. And by this, what I mean is we accept Him as Lord in our life over certain areas, certain categories. We can like recognize Him as our Savior. We can recognize Him as someone who we came to when we were broken, when we were, in distress. We were distraught, depressed, oppressed, all those things, bound in our sin. Like, we recognize Him as the Lord and Savior, someone who died for us, who loves us. I think we don't have a problem with that necessarily. If you are, a Bible believing Christian, what I think the problem lies, at least for me, is letting Him be Lord over your plan, like your life plan, your goals and things like that. Over here, I'm very transparent, so I try to maintain that as much as I can. And one of the things that I am struggling with is, and I think anybody in my age range, it could be at any age really, but specifically for somebody who's in their later 20s, when you feel like you're getting closer to an age where you should have more of life figured out, even though really, honey, even late 20s, you just don't make as many stupid mistakes, but you still make mistakes, child. And you're going to continue to make mistakes because part of just the human journey is just learning and growing, and it's just that hopefully at certain stages you should have reached different levels of knowledge and maturity. But anywho, I was really trying to look at my life and think about, where am I? What am I doing? And, and honestly seeing that I was dissatisfied in a lot of different areas, and really trying to come to that, like facing that reality and understanding and unpacking, what does that mean for me? Why? How did I get here? All of those different things. And what can I do? And, for example, I'm not destitute, but I am not making the money that I would like to. I am not making the money that I feel I could with all of my talent, my intelligence, and, my eagerness. I don't have a boyfriend, never have had one, all those different things, but I very strongly desire to be a wife, very strongly desire to be a mother, very strongly desire to have love in a romantic sense, all of those different things. In all of that, I was trying to do everything that I could. Do you know what I mean? So, and it's almost embarrassing now, but like just trying to hashtag girl boss my way into a different tax bracket, mind you, the job I work, it's basic 9 to 5, but it is one of those jobs where it's customer service based. It's very draining mentally, if not physically. Even though physically sometimes, like, because I sit at a desk all the time, my back be hurting, all that kind of stuff. And then thinking and trying to figure out, okay, how can I get a second job to help supplement the income that I want, because I want to be able to do X, Y, and Z or whatever, and pay off this and that and the third. And then also on top of that, I'm trying to see what free courses do we have here and there. So because I don't have, a college education, I always try to acquire new skills and different things and trades and stuff like that. I am a licensed professional, and I'm licensed in 2 different states at this point. So I just try to build on what I do have, you know what I mean? And then it's like, as far as my love life, it's like, okay, do I need to try, Facebook dating? Do I need to try this app, that app, and third? Like, do I need to be messaging, certain people and this and that and the third? Like, so many different things to get the life that I, dreamed of, the life that I see myself, living and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, in all of that, where is the prayer? Where is seeking his face? Where is trusting him and leaning on him? Where is believing that he knows the thoughts he has for me? Believing that, he knew me before I was formed in the womb. Where is that belief at? Where is that, not leaning to my own understanding? All of those scriptures, all those constant reminders. The people in the Bible, like Joseph, for example, he had the dreams that he had, right? But then he got there and he was sold into slavery. He went to jail for a crime that he didn't commit, and he spent years there, and he didn't reach the level that he dreamed about when he was younger until he was in his 30s. So it's just like, there's so many examples we have set before us of having patience, of really having to just put all of your will and your trust into God. And I think for me, I wasn't recognizing his lordship in those moments. I wasn't surrendering my plan to him. I wasn't surrendering. I'm trying to do, like I said, mind you, the hours I work and the way that I am built mentally, I really can't handle a second job, at least not in no full-time capacity, like where I'm really constantly working that full-time job. And, or even the little trades and things that I am trying to pick up, because I am just such a creative person, and I lean towards that kind of stuff. All the things that I want to do are going to be things that take time to build up. I have to build up a base of, clientele, and I also have to build up my portfolio. And then it's like, none of these things are going to help me get money right now. And it was just realizing that, like, dang, it's still not hitting the way I wanted to hit. Even with me doing my channel, there was a moment where I really had to separate the desire for my channel, of course, which I think is a natural desire for anybody who starts a YouTube channel, is, in the back of your mind, you like, oh man, what if this does take off? What if I do reach, XY people, and I can make this my full-time career? It is something that is a dream / goal of mine, but I really had to consciously separate that idea from, at the end of the day, the inside. There is something, and God continues to show me through messages from friends, family, even in strangers, even, that apart from that, even if this never gets bigger than where it is right now, even if it decreases, if I'm helping somebody, I need to keep doing this. If I am, me sharing my testimony, me being vulnerable, me being open, me exposing myself to criticism, exposing myself to the world for comments and questions and all that kind of stuff, and creating dialogue about things that are important, that far outweighs any type of success that may come, will come, is coming. You know what I mean? So I really had to separate those thoughts, and that's what helped me keep going when things weren't looking great. When I had stopped because my dad died, and I had went through a depression. But what helped me pick the camera back up is knowing that God is faithful, knowing that he had his lordship and I am surrendering and submitting to his will, and knowing that he placed the seed in me that wants to talk about my faith, that wants to talk about just living life, and trying to live according to his will. And also that person who wants to have community, that person who wants to share my love of fashion, who wants to share my love of arts and crafts. All of those things are more important, give me more fulfillment than seeing a dollar amount, a follower count, all of that stuff. But it took some time to really reach that level of like knowing, and I'm still working through that basically. But what made me think about like, am I making him my Lord in all areas, is just kind of being exhausted. Exhausted of trying all these different things, exhausted of crying, exhausted of, you know, seeing other people be blessed and feel, and instead of just celebrating them, which I did celebrate them, but I also decided to throw a pity party for myself. What was me? Or, and then be like, God, when? You know, why? You know, what's up? Da da da. You know, but I wasn't making him Lord. And I have really been focusing on that exact thing, making him Lord, and not, and I shouldn't say making him Lord, just making him Lord in my life, like really surrendering and submitting, because he's already Lord. But you know what I mean? Like, for me, really acknowledging that and letting go of some of these plans and thoughts that I have, because it's really, it's giving me no profit. There's no benefit for me to do it, you know, to live that way. And it's freeing when I really just, you know what, I'm submitting this to you and I'm letting go of it, and you gonna do what it do. You know, it's so freeing. It takes the weight off my shoulders, because there's so many times where I'm trying to do all the things, like I said, hashtag grow boss, like abundance, manifest, spa, this, that, and the third. And it's like, no. He's Lord. He got this. He got me. He knows what he's doing. He rules, and he reigns over all this. He runs this show. And like, I need to calm down. I need to sit back and let my Father take care of his child. So, I say all this to say, if you are like me and you are in a similar situation where you are trying to do all the things, rest, child. Let him be Lord over your life. Sit back and watch God work. You know, can just surrender, do what he says to do, obey him, and stop trying to, you know, run and do all the things, and you feel like you need to dip and dab in here and there and da da da. Rest, child, rest. Like, I'm telling myself that, rest. Like, of course I'm doing, and I'm really trying to do this, only do the projects and the things that he is telling me to do. Jump into things he wants me to jump into, and give it all, child. The rest, bye girl, fly girl, go home, Roger. Because I don't have time for this. Like, I can't. It's just exhausting. And it's like, and then in all of those things that I was trying to do, not once did I ever sit down and pray and be like, Lord, should I take this opportunity? Should I go down this path? Should I go get this? Should I invest in that? Do I need to join this? Is that how I'm gonna be? You know, trying to, in my mind, low key, I'm trying to help the Lord do my plan for me. Because it's like, well, you ain't moving the way I think you should move. So let me go do this. Maybe I need to go do that. It's like, no. Why don't I take time, seek his face? You know, if my people who are called by my name will humble themselves and pray, then will I. Okay. Seek my face first. Then will I turn to them and hear them from heaven. Okay. And heal their land. And it's like, yeah, I need to do that first. You know, seek ye first the kingdom of God and his righteousness. And okay, like, there's so many scriptures. It's like, look, you got to do it in a certain order, you know, and every time I find myself out of order is when I'm the most stressed, the most empty, the most dissatisfied, the most depressed, all of those different negative things because I'm not in the right order. And I've just been in a constant journey of doing that, of, like I said, being the side character. You know, I started that thing, I started my gratitude thing. I got this sermon I'm working on about ego, and it's essentially this mindset as well. It's all of those things. Like, you have to keep Christ as the center. You have to keep him as the foremost thing in your life, and you have to submit and surrender to him in all the areas. Pastor Craig Groeschel, or I don't really be knowing how to say his name, but that man, first of all, I love to follow him. I got him on my Instagram and my TikTok, and he always talks about how the area where you, I forgot how the quote goes, just that quick. The area you're worried about the most is the area where you trust God the least. I believe it's something, it goes something like that. And that thing hit me so hard because it's so true. And I realized there's so many areas in my life where I am the most stressed and the most worried. And it's like, yeah, it's time for you to trust God. It's time for you to make him the Lord in these situations. It's time for you to really relinquish all this stuff and let it be and give it to him. And because if you are really, for me, I'm speaking for me, and hopefully it applies to you too. Like, if you're watching this, it applies to you because I want this to have value to you. But if I am really trying to do this thing, live this life according to his will, in his way, and to be that light for others, then in my life, my faith needs to manifest exactly what I'm saying that's what I'm trying to do. So example, if I want to have, this testimony, this story where I have believed God in finding me a partner and, all of those things, then I need to pray and lean towards him, and also get my fulfillment from him and be whole and healed through him, instead of going through all these different apps and stuff, knucklehead after knucklehead, not finding any real fulfillment or any depth in anything like that because I'm not doing it in the right order, So anyway, I'm gonna close here because I could go on and on, child. Like I said, I am actually preparing a sermon with this topic in mind, so that's kind of, if I'm talking a lot, it's because of that, child. If you any preacher, any minister, when we get on the road of something that God is dealing with us with, we can go on and on and on. So I'm gonna just let it go. But yeah, I just want y'all to, examine your own life and see if there's any areas where you are the most anxious, the most worried, and see if that's also where you're not trusting God, where you're trying to take away his lordship of that matter, and I just challenge you to let go and put it in his hands. Anyway, that is all for now. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have not subscribed yet, please subscribe and hit that like button. It greatly helps and it's absolutely free. And thank y'all again so much, and I will see you all next time. Bye.